Hey everyone, I don't know if you know this, but the French actually make fragrances too, so let's talk about one. So this week we're taking a look at Vetiver Parfum from Guerlain. I love this brand. If you've watched the channel for any amount of time, you know that L'Homme Ideal Extreme is one of my favorites. I actually gave a sample of that recently to a friend of mine, and he liked the smell of it immediately. But then a few weeks later, he told me that he was like shocked at the number of people who complimented it, which I was as well. That fragrance is unique. Usually when people talk about compliments, I think they're full of crap. But that one is also my most complimented fragrance. I have not gotten that many compliments on fragrances. That accounts for almost all of them. So if you're looking for a fragrance that gets compliments, I don't know a better one than L'Homme Ideal Extreme. But today it's about Vetiver Parfum, the sequel to the very much heralded Vetiver from Guerlain, very classic fragrance. That fragrance is kind of, as you know, like a citruses and vetiver. It's that classic combo. So they came out with this, I think last year, or the year before, was one of the two. And finally a flanker for the classic. And how did they do? Well, they did really well. This fragrance is gorgeous. I mean, it is really beautiful. If you're familiar with Guerlain, you know the kind of stuff that they produce. They don't produce bad stuff. They produce very nice, elegant, fine French perfumery. That is really the name of the game when it comes to Guerlain. And this fragrance opens up kind of with this interesting, dusty, bitter vetiver. This is very much the vetiver show. It is not really taking a backseat to anything else. All of the notes that are in this, I mean, I think there's like some incense in there as well, juniper berries. I think they have kind of a gin thing that they're going for with it. And I can kind of see that. Like, it's got this dry herbal aromatic quality to it. It's not very sweet. It's got kind of a bitterness to it, but it is very interesting. This, I think, is flawless for a signature scent. This is great for the office. This would be good for, you know, some sort of a professional event, something like that. I mean, this really is like an all-weather fragrance that you could wear and have safely. And so I think, like, for me, I've really been enjoying wearing it. I really love vetiver, but when it comes to the actual question of like recommendation, I'm not sure. And I've got a really weird analogy that is liable to tick some people off, but I think I'm right, so I'm gonna say it anyway. I think in the world of culinary things, if you look at America versus the rest of the world, I think America improves cuisines from other countries. I'll give you a couple of examples. My wife is part Japanese, my sister-in-law is full Japanese. Like, we have a lot of cultural influences here in the Pacific Northwest, but I also have a lot of family influences that bring a lot of that culture in. So big fan of the food of Japan. Eat all kinds all the time. Obviously one of the most popular ones is sushi. And in America, we took sushi and we're like, well, we're Americans, so let's deep fry it. And it turns out deep frying sushi is an incredible thing to do. Doesn't replace the original, but it is like one of those things where it's like, well, it took the ingenuity of America to go bread it and throw it in oil, and you have this amazing thing that exists now. Another example, this one's maybe even more touchy. America does pizza better than Italy. I'm sorry, tomatoes are a new world crop. You don't have some sort of a, you guys put tomato sauce on spaghetti, which is already stupid. That's not, spaghetti noodles weren't designed for red sauce, they're designed for white sauce. That's why you always end up with a pool of gross watery sauce at the bottom of your spaghetti, and it's a garbage meal. Okay, sorry, unless you add 50 pounds of meat, at which point then it's just like, okay, whatever. Anyway, point is, we look at these things that other countries do, but are too beholden to tradition and classic, or the classics and tradition, and we say, all right, well, let's go outside the lines. So if I was to recommend a fragrance, I would have a hard time. Obviously, it's going to be DS&Durga because I'm not sponsored by them, but it sure seems like it. But when I smelled Vetiver Parfum, I immediately thought of Saint Vetiver, and the reason why is because they both are very much a fragrance with a backbone of vetiver. That is very much the star of the show. I often talk about cowboy grass on this channel. When I first got it, I thought that's what it was going to be. and then it turned out to be much more about the sage and kind of the herbs in that one. But in both Saint Vetiver and Vetiver Parfum, it really is a center backbone of, flies buzzing around me, a center backbone of vetiver with different things to kind of tweak it. So with Vetiver Parfum, even though it's a new formulation, smells modern, there's still very much a classic element to it. It still very much is referencing that fine French perfumery and that elegance. Like Saint Vetiver from DS&Durga, I think does the same thing, but makes it way more interesting. The addition of hay, the addition of like a rum note, having a little bit of a bay spice thing in there. You go, okay, well they sound very different, and they do smell very different, but they both have this just iron backbone. Like most of the image is the vetiver for both of these fragrances, but there's just something more interesting about Saint Vetiver. Let me think, a little bit of sweetness, but also that hay, that straw note that's in there, kind of gives it this this rustic feel without smelling cheap or dirty. It just smells good, just smells engaging. So I'm in a difficult situation because I really do like Vetiver Parfum. I think it's one of the better versions of vetiver that I've smelled. I have a hard time recommending it though, because I feel like if you want something that is doing that, you know, I think the Ancre Noirs are still really good. I think the original and a la Extreme both are kind of in this vein, and they're both like 20 bucks. So it's hard though, because like, I mean, this is like, if you're looking for vetiver like done right by a French fragrance house, this is a winner. I mean, it's really good. It's a high quality fragrance. But I just, in exploration now, I've just discovered other vetiver that I think is just way more interesting and smells better, and just happens to be by an American company. So the analogy works even better than I had planned. That being said, I think this is a good one. I don't think I'm really missing anything. I mean, I guess if you think about it, maybe Saint Vetiver is a little bit less safe when it comes to like a daily signature office scent. I mean, here's the thing. We're talking about, like, when it comes to office scents, these two are both within the speed limit, but this is like spot on. Like Vetiver Parfum is like dead on the speed limit, and Saint Vetiver is going 5 miles an hour over. So maybe you'll find some a-hole cop from HR that's like, oh, my head, but I think you'd probably be safe with it. And I think it's just a more interesting scent. So I do, it's tough. I do like Vetiver Parfum, but I think I would have a hard time saying to buy it. So let me know what your thoughts are. Have you guys smelled Vetiver Parfum? I do like it. Maybe if I was a little bit less serious, or a little bit more serious and more mature, it would be appealing to me. There's something kind of nice because there's a soapiness to it, but it's without smelling really soapy. It just kind of has this like clean vibe through it. It's tough. It's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know when I would wear it personally over something like Saint Vetiver or Cowboy Grass even, which is not quite as vetiver-y as this. Anyway, that's me for this week. I really enjoyed this one. If you guys have any thoughts on it, let me know in the comments. Again, if you have ideas for stuff that you'd like to see on the channel, let me know so I can start putting some stuff together. But I thank you for your time and hope to talk to you next week. Bye.